It's the mind behind the curtain with your hosts, Alex and Jose.
That's right, baby. We're back for another episode of The Mind Behind the Curtain. That's right, baby. Today, we have a very special podcast episode talking about
time travel.
That's right. It's something that, you know what, Jose, like a lot of people try to get their minds around it, man, but it's so complex. And there's so many paradoxes too, right?
Yeah. Totally.
That we are going to try to dive into it, man, and see what we can do, right? And try to explain it, talk about some certain movies that we've watched and a lot of people have enjoyed. And some of these movies, they try to explain time travel, right?
Yeah. And then we're going to talk about real experiments as well.
Real experiments. And he knows about some real experiments.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll dive into a little thing that happened to me that became a big thing, right?
What's that?
The freaking realization that time travel is non-linear, man, or reality. Time is non-linear.
The last time we tried to actually explain this and did the podcast, everything went off on us.
Time was against us.
Yeah, something was weird.
Yeah, maybe like ourselves from the future came in here and unplugged everything.
Maybe.
We lost power.
The power went out.
So those are one of the paradoxes, man.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. One of the paradoxes, the grandfather paradox.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So the grandfather paradox is all about like, if you went into the future or your future self came back into the past and killed your grandfather or killed grandpa, right? Then there wouldn't be no your future self.
Because they don't exist and you don't exist.
Exactly, right?
Because your father doesn't exist.
That's one of the paradoxes, right?
Exactly.
So messing with the past can actually really alter the future, or there couldn't be no future.
Yeah.
So essentially, you are destroying yourself if you do something like that in that lineage, right? In that
that's
sequence.
Similar to like Back in the Future where he sees his picture being faded.
That's right.
When he was trying to alter the future for himself.
That's right. That's because there was no happy
or the past, I should say.
Because he had to get the mom hooked up with the dad.
Yeah.
The future mom, future dad. Yeah. They had to hook it up in order for them to like exist in the future.
Yeah.
And
that's this plan.
That's right.
Yeah.
So in time travel, we need certain things, right? Mm-hmm. We need physical touch. Right, and there is the paradox that if you go into the past, right, if your future self goes into the past, they cannot come in contact with your past.
Maybe they can't even see you.
And that's another thing that they've been putting out in the movies, man.
Yeah,
like the movie The Tenant, right?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Man,
don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it, and I'm not gonna spoil it out there for people. But talking about believing in things. I found out that the word means believing in a principle, right?
Right. So
if you believe in the principle of time travel, right, it's almost like you're manifesting a consciousness, right? And talking about manifesting consciousness, we gotta be aware of the time.
That is so true. That's definitely true.
And maybe we'll know. Maybe we'll get a feeling of it, right? So,
or maybe everything will break down on us again.
That's right, and all of this would have been for nothing.
Yeah.
In the Tenant in the movie, what happens is that the future self goes into the past, but the people in the past can't really interact with them or can't see them, right? Because it would distort reality as they know it. But when they went in from the past, people went into the future, right? The future was actually going backwards. And the same thing, the like people in the future couldn't see them.
VHS tape that you'd be watching and you press rewind.
And you're rewinding it. Yeah, and you're rewinding the VHS, right?
Yeah.
So essentially the message was that if you went into the future, you're actually watching it progress backwards. So they were saying, like, for example, they got there on a Saturday, right? And the protagonist was like, hey, remember that today is the 14th and tomorrow for us will be the 13th. And the person that was listening to it was like, yeah, you're right, because we're going back in time when we are in the future. So people from the past, when they enter the future actually goes backwards. I know it's crazy, and it's hard to wrap your mind around it.
It's a cool concept.
But it's a simple concept, man.
Yeah.
Because you cannot go back to the past knowing what the future is going to bring.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and at the end of the day, can we say that maybe time travel shouldn't be messed with? What do you think?
I think it's already been messed with. I mean, I believe that we are time traveling already without even knowing.
That's the concept
right?
of that's the problem.
And who says that we're actually time traveling to our past or our future? Maybe we're time traveling to ultra universes.
That's right.
Dimensions.
That's right.
Right.
And you know, nothing is stagnant, right? Everything is constantly moving.
True.
So if we move towards the future, right? If we're constantly moving towards the future, that means that in some distant future we have progressed like immensely, man. And to a point where we have evolved in maybe some type of being that we have no imagination for, right? And that's how we are able to like go into different realms, right? In different dimensions. Like now we're going to enter the 5D dimension.
5 dimensional. From the 3D, we're skipping the 4D and going in the 5D.
Oh, so we're skipping it.
Yeah, we're
like how Russians skipping all the phases on testing the vaccine. They're just going straight to phase 3. We're going straight to 5D.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
5D. It all boils down to consciousness, bro. Right?
Very true.
So it's basically maybe like there's that story about that guy who traveled into the future using his consciousness. I can't remember what his name was, but all of a sudden he just disappeared, right? Yeah. But he left some memoirs, and he was explaining how he used his subconscious to like actually move forward in time and travel into the future.
Right.
And in his memoirs, he said he eventually will come back. Right.
Yeah. And then we also look at UFOs, for instance. What if they are time travelers from our future?
Right.
That's why they can't intervene with us. They can't see us. We can't see them physically.
Yeah.
Only their craft or the lights of the craft.
That's right. That's right.
So maybe that's why we're not able to intervene. I mean, they're not able to intervene with us. Yeah. But maybe they're allowed to stop certain things, but not certain individuals.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. And you know, you see it in the movies where the aliens, like when the world stood still, you know, the reason why they came to Earth was because they wanted to stop us from using nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Right? And I had a thought. Maybe they didn't want us to use nuclear power in order to find out how we can use it to reach the speed of light.
Yeah.
You know?
They don't want us to actually be part of the cosmos right now.
We're
not ready.
It's too soon.
Yeah,
right?
We're not ready.
Or maybe our bodies won't be able to handle it, right? Won't be able to handle the radiation, whatever, so they're protecting us. You know
or maybe it's the people in power are going to use it for the wrong reasons.
True.
Right?
The malevolent side of things.
Yeah.
They in the movie Captain Marvel, right? She has a conflict of knowing her past, right? Because her memory got erased in the new planet because these beings realized that she knew about this machine that actually allowed them to travel through speed and travel to the speed of light. And in one of the scenes, man, like they used this machine and they actually showed the universe like opening up like this, right? And that's gonna bring up the idea of opening up wormholes, vortexes, right?
Yeah.
Funny how it looked like a honeycomb. How come everything looks like a honeycomb, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's crazy how every time they show space or whatever, everything is in a honeycomb shape or formation. But vortexes or wormholes, how do we discover that?
Well, let's talk about the Hutchinson effect. There was a guy, I can't remember his first name, but I just call him Hutchinson because that's his last name.
Yeah.
He's from here, actually.
Right.
And he had a pendulum, and it was moving back and forth. But actually, it was time traveling. Because you could see it when it was swaying, it was disappearing. In
the progress of it swinging back and forth, and it was disappearing.
Come back, disappear, come back, right? So he was onto something.
Right.
And then the military took over, and then...
On this pendulum, was there another source of was there another element in present? Was there a source of gravity?
It was gravity.
Was it underwater?
Yeah, gravity and magnets.
Sounds.
Yeah.
So gravity is another part of time travel for sure, 100%. Right? And maybe that's one thing that we have to explore: how to use gravity to actually propel ourselves into the future or whatever, the past, or even just travel through the cosmos.
Yeah.
Right? Because everything is based on gravity.
Yeah.
And in the movies, you see how they always plan how to, like, for example, when they're out of gas, right? They're like, oh, we're out of gas, no more gas. Oh, we can use the moon's magnetational pull to like propel us back to Earth. Or the sun, right? Yeah. And then they use that magnetic force in order to get back on track.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that we need to explore, because obviously there's a gravitational pull that is strong, that is beyond our belief how powerful it is.
And who says we don't have that technology right now anyway?
Yeah, and
we're not going to be told. We're ants compared to everybody else that know this stuff.
Oh yeah,
right?
And if we discover some type of gravity force that can actually manipulate time, then maybe it can also manipulate our souls, right? Our spirits, our being, our energy, right? And that's where teleporting comes into place, right?
Yeah.
We can teleport ourselves into the future or to other planets.
Like The Fly, the movie.
Yeah, just make sure you press the right button, you have the right combination.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to come back all deformed and stuff.
Yeah, you have to have the right combination of your body as well, like the elements and everything too, right?
That's right.
What is it called? The muscular structure or something. What is it?
The molecular structure.
Yeah,
you need to know what molecular setting you need to set that machine to in order to put us back together.
Yeah.
Right. We don't want to come back all demented and stuff. My eyes on my ass and shit.
Well, I just saw a movie called Intersect.
Right there.
And Intersect was it's crazy. It's a low budget.
Yeah.
But it was a good movie, man.
Right.
Because when the guy comes in, he goes into the time machine. And they didn't get his structure right. He comes back, but he doesn't come back. You just see pool of blood.
Oh,
and that's it.
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
Yeah,
that's another reason why we gotta be very careful, man, with what we mess with. You know, because how much our bodies can handle, right? And that's why I guess we need to explore more of our subconscious. Our consciousness can actually tap into that stream of I don't know, what do you call it, like timeline or gravity that can send us into the future.
I mean, I look at the Buddhists, right?
Yeah.
For instance, the Shaolin monks and everybody like that.
Yeah.
I believe they're able to time travel with their mind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, and that's one practice, and that's one thing that we talked about in previous podcasts, that, you know, the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Egyptians, they all had that, you know, power, or I guess ability to, you know, take some type of psychedelic drug or whatever, or maybe through meditation to be able to, you know, transcend their minds into different planets and bring back that information that they needed, you know, in order to build stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we always think it's aliens that came and all that stuff, you know, and did all the stuff. But yeah,
well, here's a time machine.
That's the time machine. But also, this looks like the Phoenix.
That's the
what do you call it? Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hutchinson actually was practicing that. He was testing out the what they did. He took what they did in
Tesla
Manhattan.
Tesla, because Tesla was the first one. And that went to the Manhattan.
That's right.
And after that...
well, here you can see like a wormhole.
Yeah,
look at that.
It's crazy. Yeah. And look at this person. He's time travel. Look at the way he's dressed and stuff.
Like, can you zoom into that picture? But yeah, like the Manhattan Project. That's look at that. Yeah, and all these photos have been popping up, you know, like where they show like people that made look like time travelers.
Yeah, and using cellular phones as well.
That's right. There's that video. There's videos of that lady coming out of the store and she picks up her phone. It's crazy, man. Definitely uncertain things, man. But the Manhattan Project, like I said, Hutchinson was experimenting in his tub, bro, and apparently he managed to make this model ship with the same material that they used in the Manhattan Project disappear.
And the Montauk experiment too.
That's something that we got to get more into.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up, man.
Okay.
Overall, we want to know your thoughts about time travel. So leave us comments.
Yeah,
subscribe to our channel. You know, send us a message.
We're interested in hearing from you people.
That's right.
Out there.
If you think we're a bunch of crazy guys, two crazy guys talking about time travel, trust me, we don't know anything. So we'll just let you think whatever you want to think of us.
If you have any topics you'd like us to talk about,
that's right.
Leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment. All right, man.
And subscribe.
And subscribe, people.
Yeah.
So this is it. This was our episode about time travel.
Till next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.